Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're taking a look at another action figure vehicle, and this is from the Power of the Force action figure line from the 1990s. And the cool thing about this vehicle is I think it was brand new for that particular line of figures. It was not a rehash of a Kenner vehicle, so I don't think there's like a version of this vehicle that exists in the original Star Wars line of toys. So that was cool. This made it quite unique and quite original for the Power of the Force action figure line of toys. And I was very excited to pick this up. And on the packaging, which I no longer have, I remember it being advertised as two vehicles in one, because the actual inner portion of this actually comes out. And I can show you that in terms of how it sort of separates into two separate vehicles. Although what's left of the outer shell, I don't know as it can really qualify too much as a vehicle anymore, because it really is dependent on having the inner portion of it be present in order for it to function correctly. So this is what it looks like when it's in its sort of parked position with the wing flaps up. And I'm going to go ahead and remove the inner portion of it so I can show you what it looks like. Usually I recommend sort of like detaching the side wing parts first before you pull it out, just because that makes sure that you're not going to damage anything as you're actually removing the inner portion. So you just have to pull on this sort of knob on the back of it, and it sort of inches its way out of the back portion of it. And inside of here, you can see the what they call the other version of the vehicle, basically. So, and you can see I have Luke Skywalker sitting in the cockpit of this, and the articulation on the wings is actually possible as well. And actually the gun portion of this that fits on the outer portion of the vehicle also has an attachment point here. So you can actually pop this into position and actually use the gun turret on this version of it as well. This is sort of a stripped away version of the Skyhopper, but it's kind of nice because you can actually see Luke Skywalker sitting in the cockpit, whereas when he's in the larger ship, you can't really see him very well. So this actually makes it a little bit more interactive in terms of the character. And you can see there's some nice details and so forth, like on the display panels. I remember when I got this vehicle, there were a lot of sticker applications. I believe all this stuff came on a sticker sheet, so you had to sort of apply all these various things to the vehicle. So a little bit tedious and time consuming, but it's worth it in the end because it does provide a lot of extra detail for the vehicle. And as you can see, this gun turret actually rotates back and forth, and then you can manipulate it up and down as well. And it also has a firing missile. So all you got to do is push this little button here on the bottom, and the missile actually launches out of there. So very cool. And this attaches to the bottom of the larger vehicle as well. So I'm going to go ahead and reassemble it so I can show you what it looks like when it's in its full position. You just have to reinsert this like this. And also you'll have to realign the wings to fit in proper position again. So you just have to flip those up and then click them into place. And there you have it. Basically, you have Luke back in the cockpit of his T-16 Skyhopper. And in the movie, this is referred to in several scenes, basically where Luke mentions that he used to bullseye womp rats with his T-16 back home.
That's impossible, even for a computer.
It's not impossible. I used to bullseye womp rats in my T-16 back home. They're not much bigger than 2 meters.
So this is the ship that he's referring to. I believe he used to fly this through Beggar's Canyon and, you know, practice his piloting skills as well as his ability to do targeting.
Luke, at that speed, will you be able to pull out in time?
Be just like Beggar's Canyon back home.
All of those skills he learned and then eventually used during the Battle of Yavin as he was flying his X-Wing in the Death Star trench. And eventually being able to deliver that proton torpedo to the exhaust port and destroy the Death Star. All that stuff, all that piloting skills, he learned basically flying this T-16 Skyhopper. So I'm going to go ahead and reassemble the gun and actually put that on the bottom of the vehicle so I can show you what that looks like. So we'll just reinsert the missile back in there, and then you can see the attachment point is here on the bottom. So you can actually plug this in, and then you can actually deploy the wings downward into position So it appears very much in the attack formation. As we can see, the version of it, Luke has sort of a model of this vehicle on his workbench. So you can see him sort of like, you know, flying it around like this, you know, in the movie.
I got such a bad case of dust contamination I can barely move.
It just isn't fair.
So you get a sense of, you know, that he has a lot of passion for this particular vehicle, and that he is, you know, excited to do those sort of runs through Beggar's Canyon. So you can see what this looks like, and overall, I think it's an amazing vehicle. Very happy to have it in my collection, and it's got a lot of really nice details on it. And once again, I think it's a very unique addition to the Power of the Force action figure line, and because it never existed in the original vintage Kenner line, so it's cool that they actually produced this for a new generation of fans. That's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more reviews of action figure vehicles in the future, think about subscribing to my channel, because I will be covering a lot more of this kind of stuff in future videos. Until next time, I hope you're having a great day, and may the Force be with you. Thanks for watching.